Hey, welcome back, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K. So, you saw the trailer of Grand Theft Auto 6. This is their very first trailer. Of course, there will be many trailers, and then as we get closer to 2025, that's going to be the official trailer. But that's going to be a long time from now. But for right now, what we can do is we can dissect and we can analyze this trailer. And that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to try to dissect and analyze stuff that I see, and I'll try to do my best to point out certain things that you can expect to see in the game. And Especially me living in South Florida for over 25 years, I'm very familiar with South Florida, familiar with Miami, all three different counties: Dade, Broward, Palm Beach. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's start analyzing the trailer. Now, what you're seeing right now here, it's Lucia. I'm sorry, Lucia. It's our main character. Yes, I know it's a female. It's 2025. Things have changed, so just have to gonna deal with that. Okay. And if you don't like the fact that we have a female strong character, well, then don't play Grand Theft Auto 6. I don't know what to tell you. But she's gonna be our strong character. Although she has a boyfriend, that's going to be a supporting character, also a good character. But this is Lucia. You can see her. She's in a penthouse, probably modeling or trying to get some kind of deals. She's using her beauty and her looks to attract certain businessmen, certain rich people. And there's definitely a lot of rich people in South Florida. Oh boy, there's tons of rich people. And you got to watch out for those rich people out there. They're very shady, but they can be manipulated easily by a beauty like her. So, but don't let her looks deceive you. Yes, she's beautiful, but she's also tough as nails. Okay. So that's Lucia. She's on a balcony penthouse, one of those super expensive penthouses in Miami. And we're gonna start from the beginning. Okay, let's start from the beginning. All right, from the beginning of the trailer. If I see something, I'm gonna pause and then we'll emphasize and analyze. All right, so we see it's sunset. We see a prison inmate, correctional officer right there, probation officer. We see a Lucia here. We see Miami Beach in nice detail. Beautiful detail. Looks amazing. Rockstar Games presents. We see a swamp, Everglades. We see the Miami Beach. We see the Miami Harbor. We see 95 and Lucia. Hold on, actually, there's something here I want to talk about. All right, so we see two things here, and I want you guys to keep an eye on this. We see Lucia on some sort of a convertible sports car, and we see somebody else right over there filming her to put it out there on the social media, on the TikTok, right? So we see Lucia right here. Lucia, she's dancing, having a good time, right? And then we see probably her boyfriend there inside a car filming her. I'm guessing it's her boyfriend. It could be some other business partner or some modeling agency or something, right? That maybe she's a model trying to make some money, right? A lot of models here in Florida. Believe me, I know them. And some of these models, they move to designer, decorative designer, and then the real estate agents. I've met a lot of runaway models back in my days here in Miami. So I'm speaking from experience. So we see a guy over there. He's got a camera, right? He's holding it. He's filming. And you can see him, actually. I'll try to go back and you can see it. There he is. You see him. See? He's filming. He's holding a phone. You can see him right over here. So we see Lucia dancing, having a good time, right? And then we see her boyfriend. I assume it's a boyfriend. Doesn't necessarily has to be her boyfriend. It could be some other guy that she is like a co-worker or partner or something. Let's just call him a partner in whatever it is that she's doing here. Okay, I'm guessing she's probably working for some modeling agency with some rich people, and clearly these are some rich people here that she's mingling in and she's manipulating them. You know, a lot of these good-looking hot chicks, models, they go to these rich people to look for a job because you know rich people like good-looking chicks, and they take advantage of that and they make a lot of money. So again, I'm speculating. I don't work for a rock star. I didn't write the script. Okay, so I'm just analyzing what I'm seeing and also talking from experience. I'm an old geezer. I'm 45 years old. I'm not as good looking as I once used to be. Okay, I'm just being honest. So this is my speculations. This is what I'm analyzing here. So that's Lucia and the guy there putting it on the social media, YouTube, TikTok, Rumble, you name it. So many social media places these days. Let's continue. All right, what we see here is like a little Haiti. Like a little Havana or little Haiti. I think it's a little Havana. It looks like a little Havana in Miami. Definitely looks like a little Havana. We see a bunch of looks like most likely some sort of I don't want to say gangs, even though there are gangs in this area. They're out there. It could be just a place where they all hang out. Everybody hangs out, like a little place where they all go in and hang out and stuff like that. But it's definitely a little Havana, you know. I don't want to go into the gangs too much, even though I used to work with. I was an assistant as a security officer. I was an assistant to the sheriff when they needed my assistance. But I don't want to talk about it, and maybe I shouldn't even be talking about it. But I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar with some of these places in Miami. This is definitely a little Havana, okay, and looks like some kind of meetup. Everybody's meeting up here, and you know, when it comes to gangs, when it comes to you know pimps and drug dealers and criminals and things of that nature, usually they don't let you know who they are. It's not like they're wearing certain, you know, IDs and they tell you, hey, I'm part of this gang, or hey, I'm part of this. Usually they're all low key. Everything's low key, okay? Everything is a low key. And that's how a lot of these things happen. They happen low key, okay? It's not that they're going to let you know. You come in here, you meet up and all that, and, you know. So it looks like a little Havana. And I imagine this is where Lucia is going to be mingling in, trying to get some sort of a job to mingle in with these crime lords. Let's call them a crime lords, right? And I assume that's where she's going to be mingling in with her boyfriend, trying to make some money. You know, like Scarface, rise up in a big city like Miami, and it's tough making a living in a Miami. And it's dangerous. Miami is very dangerous. Yes, it's beautiful. Yes, it's nice and shiny and it's all that. But make no mistake, just like Los Angeles, Miami, same thing. Could be a very dangerous place if you don't know what you're doing. So again, this is my opinions. I am analyzing, so please, guys, don't get offended. I'm just speaking from my experience. I lived in South Florida for 25 years. I'm pretty much familiar with a lot of things. I was even the team leader at the nightclubs. I worked various different nightclubs. Man, my history, my resume is huge. And I'm not saying this to brag about it. I'm just speaking from experience, guys. Okay? And everything I say, I can back it up. I have credibility. I have resumes this thick. Let's move on. So we see a nightclub. This looks like a nightclub I used to work at, honestly. I used to work in Fort Lauderdale, right on the Broward Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale Voodoo Lounge back in 2004. And this reminds me of a nightclub that I used to work at in Fort Lauderdale. And you guys can go look it up. You can look up Voodoo Lounge. I used to be staff team leader there. I was managing security there. Staff equals, security. And we used to have something like this, like a VIP section, like the second floor balcony, another VIP, outside patio for different type of a music, reggae, hip hop, rap, and then we would have a house music inside. We have different various rooms, right, where we have different various genre of music, and we had body shots. You guys remember body shots? Body shots is where you would sit on a table, and then the chick would come in and she would put some stuff on her body, like a whipped cream or some other stuff, and you're supposed to lick that, and suck on that, lick that. Like I don't know if they still do that, but body shots, they do body shots. Or she would let you drink a grasshopper, a drink called a grasshopper, and then she would put it in your mouth and you would drink it. Here we see a little bit of a strip pole. This is like a strip club mixed with a nightclub, nightclub, strip club, kind of mingled in together. Looks like a spearmint rhino, honestly. Looks like a spearmint rhino. Spearmint rhino. I used to work at Spearmint Rhino nightclub. I was there. Then I was also working in the Las Vegas Spearmint Rhino nightclub. That's where I met Jenna Jameson. Briefly, I met her. I really wasn't a fan of Jenna, but I did like Janine. Janine was really good, man. Janine was a sweetheart. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that, because then this video is going to be, guys, I don't want to talk about stuff, because if I talk about it, it sounds like I'm bragging about it, but I can back up all of my claims, everything that I've done and been in the past. So this is a nightclub. Clearly, you can see it. It's going to be for adults, mature only. You don't want the kids. You don't want the kids this time to play this game because it's too realistic. All right, this is kind of like too real, right? You see these chicks, twerking their butts. You see the guys and gals putting the money in, on a fishnet. So this is all pretty realistic, And again, I'm speaking for experience. Yes, I'm an old geezer. I know, I'm 45, but believe me when I tell you, once upon a time, I was a big guy. I was a tough guy. But I'm an old geezer now. I'm like an old, Kevin Costner or something, So right here we see these are the gangs. All right, you can see their, writings on the neck, tattoos. Usually tattoos they tell you, and you see their handshakes. They have certain handshakes. They have certain codes, right? And you can tell if they're belonging to a certain part of a gangs. The major gang that I knew in Florida that was very familiar here was the Latin Kings. They're still active. Latin Kings are still active, but they're having a tough time now because the sheriffs down here, the police down here, the law enforcement down here are very tough, man. In Florida, it's a different game. In California, yeah, they can get away with certain things because in California the laws are very softy, but down here the laws are very strict. But Latin Kings are pretty big, Then you got the Haitian mafia, you got Colombian mafia, you got Cuban mafia. They all have different backgrounds. Little Jamaica, little Haiti, little Havana. Then you got Russians, you got Albanians, You got Serbians. You got some of the Bosnians in there as well. Miami, it's a very cultural city, man. It's turning into like a New York City, man. In some retrospect, it's a very international a city. You're gonna find a lot of Latinos for sure from South America, Ecuador, Venezuela, Argentina, Colombia, Bogota City, from Mexico, of course. Dude, I have a Mexico Plaza right next to me, dude. Maybe I should do a video to show you. And I love, let me tell you, I love Mexico Plaza that I have. Like a little Mexico. They got all the Mexican food. They've got all the Mexican drinks imported from Mexico, man, and it's great. I love it, dude. I love it. I can find this is made in Mexico. I bought this from a Mexican store. This hat I bought it from a Mexican store. So I love being right next to Mexico, a little Mexico Plaza where I live at. Okay. Again, I'm speaking from experience, guys. I live in Florida, South Florida, for a long time. So let's move on. And I'm analyzing this Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. All right, so what we see here is the a road that leads to South Beach. All right, this is the a road that leads to South Beach, and this is usually where you're gonna find rich people with their rich penthouses, mainly wealthy people. Yeah, you know, you're not gonna find some poor schmucks. You're gonna find very wealthy, rich people. You can see a yacht over here. You can see a very expensive mansions over here. Maybe over here you'll see a Oprah's house, right? Maybe you'll see a Tom Cruise's house over here. So this is basically a road that takes you to the South Beach, and it's a very expensive island. There's a little sub islands next to the South Beach, and on these islands on the intercoastal, there's basically intercoastal. It's a huge intercoastal that separates the Miami Beach to the inland, and there's these little islands on this intercoastal, and that's where you got rich people, super rich people living there, like Jeffrey Bezos and others, and they got a big yachts. It's a lot of wealthy people, man. A lot of wealthy people. You're gonna find Dwayne Johnson in there as well. So, again, speaking from experience, guys, and I worked for these rich people. I was employed by some of them to take care of their houses, to take care of their yachts, to take care of their business, to look after their cars, maintenance their cars. You know, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, all that stuff. You know. So, but working for them, it can be a very, it's a different story. You know, maybe that's a separate video. Yes, they do pay well, but man, they can be a pain in the ass, especially if you make a one little mistake. They're very unforgiving because they pay a lot of money and they feel like, okay, I'm paying you a lot of money. Why did you make this mistake? Da 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 da. So they have a different mindset. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so this is South Beach, Deco Drive, South Beach, Victor Hotels. You know, this is where Scarface famous scene happened. You know, with the chainsaw and all that. And of course, it has changed quite a lot. You know, South Beach has become really like an adult playground beach. Really, what Las Vegas desert is for an adults, this is what this South Beach Island is. It's an adult playground. Honestly, you do not want to take your kids down here. The South Beach is the last place you want to take your kids. Take your kids to Disney World. That's about it. But the South Beach is like spring break central. It's an adult playground, man. You know, it's just crazy. You know, it's a crazy place, man. I used to manage the Nikki's Beach Club. I used to manage that, and man, I remember when Vin Diesel was there celebrating his birthday. I only saw him briefly. I didn't really get a chance to shake hands and say hi to him because there was a lot of bodyguards around. There was a lot of security, and I was too busy trying to orchestrate and keep everything secure. Under all that chaos. You know what I mean? Because it is very chaotic. It's very loud. It's very chaotic, and you kind of have to work under pressure. So this is South Beach. Right now, you can see it. Pretty good detail, man. It says cheetah right here. Oh, by the way, they don't call it Florida. They call it Leonida. Leonida. So they're not using the word Florida. They call it Leonida. Leonida. Leonida or Leonida. Leonida instead of Florida. Leonida. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's right here on the tag, and that's what it says. All right, we got a DJ, we got a DJ chick, and there's a lot of chick DJs out there, and they're pretty good. I remember meeting DJ Baby Ann. She's the queen of bass, drum and bass. She's also a good friend with DJ Icy. I don't know if you guys know who DJ Icy is, and DJ Icy and Baby Ann, they work together, drum and bass. I met all of these DJs at the Biscayne Bayfront Park on the Ultra Music Festival. Like every March, they have a Ultra Fest electronic music festival, and you get to meet all of these DJs from around the different parts of the world. Right? I met all of them: Armin van Buren, Paul Van Dyke, George Acosta, Tiesto, Paul Oakenfold, dude, you name it, Hybrid, DJ Shadow. I mean, I'm missing out. Timo Mass. Let's see who else. I can't remember everybody on top of my head. So many DJs. So we see a nightclub DJ. See a chick there DJing. All right, we see the Key West, access to Key West, and they really did a fantastic job. I have to admit, man, they did a fantastic job on the graphics here. The graphics looks stellar. We see a lot of detail here. This is Key West, going to the Keys. And again, we see Lucia. She's dancing, having a good time in the penthouse suite. Vice usually says Miami, but here says Vice. We see a Gators. We see TikTok and Gators. Gators in the pool. Guys, there's always Gators, man, all over the place in Miami, especially in the west parts of Miami. And seeing a Gator in your pool, it's nothing unusual, man. Gators are like a pet, dude. It's like seeing a pet. This might be kind of like surreal for those of you who never been in South Florida, who never lived in South Florida. But me living in South Florida 25 years, seeing a gator in a pool, it's just like, it's like a normal thing, man. It's like seeing a stray dog or stray cat. It's just like a normal thing. And again, we see some more of TikTok. We see street racers with donuts. We see more TikTok. We see gators going inside the shopping centers. We see a police, Broward County Sheriff. Looks like a Broward County Sheriff, and I'll tell you why. We see MAGA people. We see a lot of MAGA people. Make America Great Again. Trump supporters. Of course, the Trump supporters will be coming in from Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago, mainly West Palm Beach. You'll see them coming down. And I'm sure in this game we're going to go to Palm Beach as well to see MAGA people. And the MAGA people will be here. You better believe it. We see people doing crazy stunts. We see, other communities, LGBTQ communities, the gay community, it's pretty big in Miami. LGBTQ community is pretty big in Miami. Okay, and we see a little bit of that too here. And see MAGA people. MAGA, make America great again. MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. There we go. Listening to some Metallica, some Megadeth. You know. Make America great again. MAGA people are, man. Let me tell you something about country chicks, man. They're hot, man. Country chicks are hot, bro. You know. You might have to put up with their Billy Bob Joe's brothers, MAGA brothers, but country chicks are, MAGA chicks are pretty hot, dude. I know. I met some of them, and MAGA chicks are pretty hot, man. You might reconsider voting for Trump once you meet MAGA chicks. I need to show you some MAGA chicks. Again, I'm speaking from my experience. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. But remember, that's why you're watching this video, because you want to hear me analyze this trailer the way it should be analyzed from somebody who has experience in South Florida. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who has experience in South Florida. There's many other people who's going to have their own opinions as well. But I'm giving you my opinions on what I'm seeing here. Just keep that in mind. And we see Karen. This is your typical Karen. Looks like a Karen. Smells like a Karen. Has the two hammers. It's a Karen. Neighborhood watch, don't play. This is a Karen, and this is how they're dressed. This is how they look. They're miserable. Believe me, I'm speaking from my experience when it comes to the Karens. I met a lot of Karens, especially the kind of job I was working. Man, this should be like a poster for Karens. This is exactly your Karen. This is your typical miserable Karen. And Rockstar nailed it, bro. They nailed it. There's your Karen. And I'm sure you're going to meet plenty of them in a game. And we see some people getting drunk. Okay, see Broward County Sheriff, green and white. You see that, green and white. And this is very accurate because that's how the Broward County, which is in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, it's also a big city as well. It's known for its spring breaks and a lot of celebrities there too. But we can see Broward County Sheriff, green and white, and I talked about green and white. You see it here, green and white. Green and white. That's a Crown Vic, and there's the SUV. Green and white. There's Lucia. They're stealing a bank. They're stealing money from the bank. We see dirt bikes. Okay, there it is right there. And we see them stealing some more stuff, doing their... Now, people ask me, where do I think this character is from? Where is Lucia from? I'm guessing probably Cuba. She's probably Cuban. Listen, I met a lot of Cubans. I know Cubans. I worked with a lot of Cubans. And this definitely, I think it's Cuban heritage. But I think, again, I could be wrong. Could be wrong, but I'm just kind of speaking from from my own experience. They're driving a Camaro SS Classic. And there they are right there. Oh, she's definitely Cuban. 100%. Lucia. And he also looks Cuban as well. I think this is... well, it should be, because it's really, they're trying, because, there's a lot of Cubans in Miami. I mean, a lot of Cubans. I mean, they own that city. I know there's a little Haiti. I know there's Colombians. There's others, There's a little Haiti. There's Haitians, right? There's a little mixture of everything in there. But I also know that there is a lot of Cubans in Miami. And they run a lot of shit down there, man. They run a lot of stuff. They pretty much own the police department. Again, speaking from experience, guys. Everything I tell you here, I'm speaking from facts, not from I'm assuming this. I'm assuming that. I don't assume nothing. I speak from experience, guys. So I'm thinking that Rockstar did a lot of research. They spent a lot of time researching South Florida before actually start writing the script, before start putting everything together. And that's her boyfriend, his hairy chest. There they are. They're going to rob some more banks, liquor stores, Grand Theft Auto 6. There it is. Coming in 2025. So, what do I think? What do I think? I think this is going to be a great game. It's going to be a very controversial game, like every other Grand Theft Auto that we know has been controversial. Rockstar is used to it by now. It's not the first time they're going to have a lawsuit or something. They're billionaires, man. They're trillionaires. They can handle any lawsuit there is. Rockstar is pretty big, so they don't really care about that. It's going to be a huge success, like it always has been. It's Grand Theft Auto, man. It's going to sell billions and billions of copies, and it's going to be crazy, man. I think Grand Theft Auto 6 will surpass Grand Theft Auto 5. I think it's going to be so big that it's going to surpass all the previous Grand Theft Auto games, and it should, because this is the very, 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 very next generation Grand Theft Auto since Grand Theft Auto 4. Because Grand Theft Auto 4 was a leap forward than what we had in Grand Theft Auto 3. So think of Grand Theft Auto 6 as a leap forward that we had with Grand Theft Auto 4. And that's what this is going to be. Can't wait. Maybe I'll play some Vice City Definitive Edition, today, if you guys want me to. But there it is. Lucia and her boyfriend. That's the character. I think you're going to love Lucia. I think you're going to fall in love with her. I think you're going to love this game. I hope that this 32 minutes video really kind of gives you some idea on what to expect from Grand Theft Auto 6. Again, I'm just going by what I'm seeing in a trailer, in a 1 minute 30-second trailer. As they release more trailers, I'll be able to review that and give you analysis on that. I hope you guys enjoy this analysis. I hope you appreciate this analysis. And keep in mind, this is coming from my experience, because I lived in Florida for 25 years. So I hope this helps you out and gives you a different perspective. I know there's a lot of videos, but I want to give you my perspective on this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.